All right, joining us now is Ted Bryant, Ford Archives and Heritage Brand Manager.
Great to be here tonight.
Thanks so much for being here. You have a fascinating job, and we've been talking about the history of this iconic structure behind us. You've gotten to see a lot of that firsthand.
I did. I was in there very early after the purchase, walking through the building, and as a company, we had a lot of decisions to make. What were we going to preserve? What were we going to keep? How are we going to keep it? So it was exciting to see it through its 6-year journey, both with the building itself, with all the amazing found artifacts, with the graffiti that we preserved over time. I stored 9 pieces of graffiti in my archives for the last 6 years, and now they're on display in there. So it's just been an amazing journey.
Yeah, and to be part of this journey and see where we've come tonight and how exciting this is for so many people to just get here and see what this has become. How does that feel for you to be part of that?
Oh, it's such a point of pride, and I think that as a employee of Ford Motor Company, you have to look to the top. This is Bill Ford's vision, and it's come to life, and it's not just a building. It's multiple buildings and a 30-acre campus that's going to redefine Detroit and redefine this area of Detroit. So I describe it, or have described it over this last 6 years. This is an only Ford moment. Only Ford could do something like this. And I get goosebumps thinking about the fact that we did, and we're going to celebrate tonight with the people of Detroit.
Yeah, you mentioned preserving things like the graffiti. So many generations of Americans have experiences here, from immigrants coming to Detroit, from Black Americans coming up during the Great Migration. Did you feel any of that? Did you get to experience any of that firsthand in your work here?
You do. I was just saying off camera, one of my favorite things on the on the station, when you get in and see it, is there used to be benches in the grand lobby, and there are indentations in the marble where people have walked around the benches and sat with their and it just shows the generations and the years and the people that passed through. In our collections, we got tickets, we got letters, we got correspondence that was donated to us of people, GIs who went off to the war. I mean, it's D-Day today, so those soldiers got on trains and went off to go fight for America, with Ford being the arsenal of democracy, and Detroit. It's a fabric of Detroit, and now we've taken the cloth to it, we've shined it up, and we've given it back to the city.
The story's still untold for what this can become, but how important is it to preserve that rich history?
Oh, it's critical, because you don't know where you're going until you know where you've been. Whether we're doing the train station, redefining the way that work is going to happen in Detroit, the book depository next door with more than 100 small incubator companies that are bringing innovation and thinking to Detroit. You don't have to go to Palo Alto anymore if you're a computer engineer. You can come to the book depository or the train station, because we now have so much to offer in a revitalized Corktown neighborhood. One of my favorite features, and it wasn't there the first couple of times I came, is the bridge that goes over to the other side of southwest Detroit, which is bringing the whole area back together again. So from the very first visit, when the floors were flooded, the building, I can't tell you how bad shape the building was in.
Yeah.
And then to the little touches like the 3D printing the rosettes in order to do the renovation in a sustainable manner. All of those things are what Ford excels in.
Yeah, like any great city, Detroit has had ups and downs in its history, some somewhat recent low points, but we're on this trajectory. This is such an exciting moment, so much energy. What does it mean to you to be part of this project at this particular moment in Detroit's overall history?
It's so exciting, and that's part of the reason we preserve the graffiti. The graffiti tells a story. It tells a story of the nadir, of the decline, and then by keeping it, we're keeping it showing the rebirth. If you ever go to New York in the Tenement Museum, they show the different generations and how the different incoming ways that people change the city. Well, you can see that in this building. And at this particular moment in time, after the draft, the Lions are excelling. Everything, growth in population. It's so exciting to be a member of the city of Detroit now. And this building is just one more example.
Yeah.
And knowing that history, does it feel to you like we've turned a new page in the chapter?
Yes. We have turned a page. The city of Detroit has turned a page, and Michigan Central is just the start of the innovation corridor that's going to go from here to Ann Arbor. And you see the rebirth along the Riverwalk. And you see, I'm new to Detroit. I've only lived here 6 years, so I've I've been here for most of the ascent the last 6 years through COVID, the way Ford stepped up in the pandemic. It's just amazing to see. And then in the background, this building always under construction, always the renovation. If I can say one thing is the millions of man hours that went in. Those workers were so dedicated.
Yes.
I was so excited. Every time I would come, they'd pull me aside to show me something new that they had found. There was one day they were cleaning with baking soda and toothbrushes in order to clean the gables off in a way that wasn't going to hurt them. Such dedication. It just exemplifies this building.
Well, all of our gratitude to all of the workers who made this possible, and to you for your hand in preserving that history. It's an incredible thing to witness, and nowhere else we'd rather be tonight. We hope you enjoy the night.
Oh, thank you. It's going to be a celebration, and the weather gods are smiling on us.
Absolutely. This is Ted Ryan with Ford. Thanks so much for being here.